Somebody said it's easier to find a needle in a haystack than to find love in Lagos. Everybody's saying, oh, he should not lose that hair. He looks like Ashake. To some people, he looks like Fireboy. Though to me, he looks like... If you didn't know he was an actor, you would think he's an artist in real life. I was watching the movie and I said, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I should see Jemima Osunde. It is one of those movies I would classify as a... When I saw that scene, I was like, do people still do this in Nollywood movies? So does that mean there is a part 2? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nollywood Insiders. My name is Heaven Abraham and it is always a pleasure to be here with you. Straight up to what we have for today, I will be reviewing the movie Lagos Love Story. It is an Inkblot production and directed by Chinaza Onunse, talking about the storyline. The storyline talks about the life of a young lady who has taxes to pay for a house, but then the government wants to come claim it, so she has to make 20 million to pay off so that they don't take their family home. And then a music star, an artist, who signs an agreement with a company to sing at a concert, have them work with him for a certain period of time. And life happens. These two people get to meet. There is chemistry. Basically, that's a Lagos love story. It all happened in Lagos and all the paparazzi, glitz and glamour that comes with it, the ups and downs, trying to pay up 20 million, finding love somewhere in between, having to deal with a boss who is very saucy, and yeah, that's the general rundown of the storyline. Let us talk about the characters. There are two lead roles, two protagonists in this movie. The first is Jemima Osunde, who played the role Promise Quest. If you have watched our review on the movie All of Us, I made a statement. I said Jemima Osunde is so bigger than the role she was given in that movie because I know she has a lot of potential. She has proven in the Nollywood industry over time that she is good at what she does and she deserved a better and a bigger role. Guess what? That is exactly what they did in this movie. Whoever was in charge of the casting casted my Jemima Osunde as the lead role and she did a great job. I was watching the movie and I said, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I should see Jemima Osunde, not a random student playing random characters. There are a lot of buzz on social media saying Jemima didn't do well, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So for me, it was a great performance. It just lacked a little bit of emotional depth. I would have loved if, we saw more romance on her face, her expression, but she nailed her role. It was a great performance. Talking about Mike Afolarin Kinketo, he is the artist. Mike did a good job. He did a lovely job. The appearance, the costume department, they made him look really good for his role, and his role was awesome. He played his character perfectly. Great performance. I just feel that one of the reasons why it somehow seemed there was actually not so much of an emotional connection between Promise Quest and Kinketo in this movie is because of the way the movie was written. So every time you see these two people who are supposed to be romantically involved in love and stuff like that, it's always Jemima Osunde, who played the role Promise, trying to convince him to go for a shoot or trying to convince him to do something. There was not really a romantic moment where probably they went out on a romantic dinner that would have made them connect. Would have had to see a lot of the romance between them. We just didn't get to see that. That's why a lot of people say, oh yeah, there was no romantic connection. The writers didn't give room for that. There was always something to do. Even when she dressed up and went for the evening party with him as, his date for the night, there was a lot of drama, no emotion, nothing. So if the writers could have made it in such a way that, they went out for dinner or, they went out together, or probably they had to stay in one room together for a reason, then I feel we would have had more emotional or romantic depth. Uti Nwachukwu. Uti was the PA to Kinketo, who is the artist. He's basically the one managing him and stuff like that. The weapon fashion against Promise. Uti just hated Promise for no reason. Wetin Promise do am, we don't know, you know. But that's his role, and he did a good job. I wasn't expecting anything less from Uti Nwachukwu. Fadekemi was played by the amazing Linda Ejiofor. Fadekemi is the boss you wish you would never have. Fadekemi is the boss you wish you can strangle every day you come to work. Linda Ejiofor nailed the role. She did a great job. It was a lovely performance. It's my first time seeing her play a mean boss, and it was a good watch. She did well. The fact that you hate her after watching that movie is exactly her mission. So that means she did good. She did a great job. I wasn't expecting anything less. She's been in the Nollywood industry for quite a while now. Chimezie Imo played the role Kufere. The names in this movie. He did a good job. I was so happy to see him. He is one Nollywood actor who puts his best, who pours his heart out whenever he's got a job to do. You can tell, you can see it. I've watched interviews with him, and you know that this guy really knows what he's doing in the Nollywood industry, and I'm rooting for him. His role in this movie was more like a waka pass, but he did a good job regardless. So let's talk about Susan Piwayuk. I know I didn't get that right. Forgive me. Susan played the role Favor Quest. She's a sister to Promise. Yeah, she is, trying to set her foot in Nollywood, trying to put herself out there. She did a good job. I would have expected better, but on an average, she did a great job. Good performance. More effort is needed. Exactly. Ike Osaki-Oduwa, it was good to see him in this movie. I've always known him as, a wonderful A-list presenter. He played the role Achike, the husband to Linda Ejiofor's character, who is Fadekemi. He's the understanding, kind man who wants to give Favor a chance and stuff like that. Promise a chance, actually. Yeah, he played his role well. To me, it was the first time seeing him act in a movie, and he did a great job. Well done. Generally, the movie is a lovely one, a good one, and a beautiful watch, I must say. It is one of those movies I would classify as a clean production. Production where the color grading was top-notch, so beautiful to watch. It was very phenomenal, I must say. Let's go straight into the things that I liked about the movie A Lagos Love Story. So one of the things I love about this movie is the beautiful visuals, lovely color grading. The cinematography was on the average, but very good. And the amazing Lagos city landscape views that we got. You would know that indeed this is a Lagos love story. This love story happened in where? Lagos. And the number one highlight of this movie for me personally is the songs. I realized that these songs are actually original songs, and it's so beautiful. I was basically vibing to it as I was watching the movie. Bad as Fontaine and Wait for Me. These are my two most amazing songs in the movie, and Bad as Fontaine was released a few days ago. I'm waiting for Wait for Me, because Wait for Me is actually my favorite. Imagine after watching this movie, I went back to that scene just to vibe to the song again, and I can't wait for it to be released. I'm going to put it on a repeat and keep streaming and keep streaming and keep streaming. A Lagos Love Story is a simple, basic, and a feel-good movie. The movie you just lay down on your bed and you want to watch something interesting, something charming, something romantic. And yeah, it is a predictable storyline, but a great watch. If you are too serious about life, Lagos Love Story is not for you. Because I'm sure the scene where King Keto and Promise fell to the ground, you would... When I saw that scene, I was like, do people still do this in Nollywood movies? But yeah, like I said, it's a feel-good movie. You just watch, feel good and have fun. Move on, nothing so serious. If you are serious about life, if you are too serious, Lagos Love Stories, you will not enjoy it. It's not for you. Now, let's talk about some of the things that did not really go well with me in the movie. Promise is meant to be the concierge of King Cater in this movie. King Cater decides to treat them to a woman's shop, give them local food and stuff, and then the touts in the area are obsessed. They want to see King Cater. It's been a while he came to the streets. The Capone himself wants to see King Cater because he said he's the one who gave King Cater the name, and you know, stuff like that. Promise then comes. You are a concierge. Your job is to make sure that King Cater goes to all his appointments on time and meets up with, you know, whatever it is that he has scheduled for him. What gave you the right to talk to touts the way she did? It looked like she was shouting at them. It looks like she was talking down on them. In real life, they will slap her. That's the truth. You can't be a young woman talking to a group of touts, coming close to them, shouting at them. Even when their boss of all boss, the Capone, came, you were still talking to him lackadaisically. In real life, that's not how it works. So that's why I said this movie is just a feel-good movie. You can't do that in real life. You go collect. On a normal, you go collect. So yeah, that didn't seem realistic for me. And another scene that also didn't seem realistic was Mayowa, who was played by Uti Nwachukwu, was telling Promise to name her price so that she can, you know, keep King Cater happy and he'll keep releasing good songs, because he realized that King Cater was actually in love with her. And she says, no, I'm not for sale, blah, blah, blah. And you know, she doesn't want to collect money. And in that same breath, she just walks to the door and comes back. Yes, we know she needs 20 million, but realistically, it should have been probably when she went home, looked at the house that she was going to lose if she doesn't pay the money, and you know, comes back the next day and decides, okay, let's do this. Give me 20 million. Not in that same breath. No, it just wasn't realistic for me. For a story that said a Lagos love story, the movie is basically, how do I put it? The movie is more of glitz and glamour than romance. The writers made it so much about King Cater, the song, the artist, popularity, Lagos landscape views, glitz and glamour. Like I said, it had so much less to do with love itself, and I feel like that is you setting the team and missing out on your own team. And then I feel like we should have a backstory on how did Promise Quest's mother die, not just saying, oh, mommy died and we miss her. What happened? How did she die? You know, just maybe a few small throwback on the day she died would have done justice to the storyline. And the sister, Favor and the photographer, played by Chimezie Imo, who is Kufre, there was like a connection. We could all see it. We wanted him to eventually say it at some point. I don't know why they did not end up making it happen. I thought in that last scene there would be that conversation he has always wanted to have with her, and it will eventually be mutual so that there is at least a happy ever after ending for both sisters. But we didn't have that, and I believe that is enough reason for this movie to have a part 2. Not just that, everybody is saying that there was no romantic chemistry between King Cater and Promise. So the part 2 should give us more love chemistry. We want more chaos. We want more highlights. We want more song vibes. We just want more. And I'm saying on behalf of the Nigerians and on behalf of the Nollywood Insiders that a Lagos love story deserves a part 2. What became of Sassy by Favor brand? This is one of the reasons why this movie actually really deserves a part 2. Because we didn't know what later happened. Did she take the deal? If she did not, what's the way forward? How did she intend to own her brand and still keep it lively, keep it popular, and people patronizing her and stuff like that? We didn't get any of that. So yeah, part 2 needed. I want to talk about the character King Cater. Everybody is saying, oh, he should not lose that hair. He looks like Ashake. To some people, he looks like Fireboy. Though to me, he looks like Ashake. I can't see any resemblance with Fireboy. But I want to say that Mike Afolarin ate that role. If you didn't know he was an actor, you would think he's an artist in real life. The calmness, the aura, the vibes, everything. The costume department did a lovely job in this movie for every single character, everyone who was in this production. They did an amazing job, and I must say, well done. Cinematography, lovely. Set design, lovely. It's a really wonderful watch. You should go see the movie A Lagos Love Story. I'm giving the movie A Lagos Love Story 7.5 over 10 because in general it was a lovely and a good watch. A lot was put into this movie in every aspect, costume, characters, every aspect of it. It was a lovely feel-good movie. So that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Till I come your way again, peace out.